Hey you all, hey, and welcome back to another vlog. So this is kind of an interesting vlog. I have you set up in my bathroom and I'm going to try and talk and get ready at the same time because I have some stuff to talk about. Mostly it's about the TBR. I made a video but I didn't end up posting it, and it was all about the relationship that some booktubers have with their TBR. And I thought it was so interesting because recently Michael K. Vaughn and David Wiley have decided to stop doing TBR videos. And then there has been a shift. There's been a shift in the TBR video. People don't want to do TBRs anymore. Because, and they didn't really get into it, but there's like the pile of possibilities, which has gotten kind of popular. And I didn't end up posting the video because I felt really nerdy, and in the moment I felt I was being dramatic. It was like a parody video, and then I got kind of embarrassed about the parody. But it's still around, I think, so let me know if you're actually interested in seeing it. But I'm literally being such a goofball, more than I normally am. And I just got kind of embarrassed, so I didn't end up posting it. Oh, my phone is going off. Okay, so here's the deal. For Victober, I got really excited and I was like, I'm gonna post a pile of possibilities video, and that way I won't feel like I need to read everything, because it's not a to be read, it's a I might read you, it's a maybe read, it's a possibility pile. And because, I'm me, I brought all of the books that I haven't read yet for Victober that I talked about or wanted to read, and right now it's October 26th. And I knew that I wasn't going to read the books, not all of them, that's why I made it a pile of possibilities. And I started with the books that I was most excited about. And which was like Jules Verne, which isn't even, Victorian. But it's, it's in the same time period, but Jules Verne is French. So, and then I'm currently listening to Black Beauty, and then I had a couple of buddy reads, and anyways, the moment I say that I'm going to read all of the books, for the first couple weeks, I feel really, really good. I feel really excited, and that I'm going to get to all of them, or I'm going to try, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm just thrilled. And then usually then the reality of time hits me. The reality that I am one human being, and that I don't have a mega fast superhuman reading speed, and that I get busy, and sometimes I put off reading, or I have other hobbies that bring me joy. And when those, usually it's about halfway through the month, and when that happens, I'm like, I feel like the TBR is mocking me. Let me, because I don't want to look like a clown. So give me a moment, I'll blend this out. Okay, actually I can keep talking while I'm doing this. Okay, so then I feel like when I am confronted with my own humanity, when I'm confronted with the constraints of time, when I'm confronted with the fact, or when reality finally hits, or when the shoe finally drops, then I'm like, I look at my TBR and I feel like the TBR is mocking me. It's telling me, you're not gonna read me. And then I start to panic. I'm like, how am I gonna read all this? What am I gonna do? I want to read all of them, and what am I gonna choose? And right now I'm in a really wonderful position to start a new book and really dive in, and I could probably read one of these. I could read these short ones that are all by Oscar Wilde. But since I only have 5 days left, and I'm currently reading, three other books right now. I probably can only add one more to my currently reading pile and actually finish it. So that's where I'm at. I don't know if you all are like that as well. I know that, again, like I've been seeing videos around saying that, you know, people don't like they're doing TBR. It's like a love-hate thing. It's super fun to make plans. It's super fun to window shop one's collection. I love the comments on those videos because everyone gets me very, very excited about the reads and what's coming up. And, you know, like people are interested in what I'm reading, and that gets me really excited about it. But then, you know, then I don't get to them. And it's not the relationship that I have with you all. I don't feel like you all are giving me, putting pressure on me to read all of the books. And I even labeled my last video Pile of Possibilities. So I wasn't even promising to read all of the books, all of my books right here. But the reality is that, you know, like I want to, and I'm sad that I'm human. Like, I'm happy that I'm human, but I'm sad that I have the constraints of humanity and that I only have so much time to read. And there are other things that get in the way. For example, we had people in our house finishing some things with our kitchen because we're having our kitchen redone. And while they were here, it's like usually I get so many hours in the day to read, and all of a sudden that gets cut in half for the week because people are here and they are in and out, and I'm checking on the work and I'm trying to see what's going on, and I'm keeping my kids out of the kitchen because that's where the construction zone is, and I don't want them to be in our, you know, our contractor's way. And you know, and even today, usually today is Tuesday, I would normally have like 3 solid hours by myself to read while my little one is in daycare, or not daycare, in preschool. And he loves going to preschool, but this morning, he like refused to go. He's not feeling well. He has a bit of a sinus infection, I believe. And so we walked down to go take him to preschool, and what ends up happening is that he's super clingy. He doesn't feel good. He won't even leave my arms. He's saying he wants to go home. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, okay. So, you know, instead of being like, no, I'm getting my reading time. Instead, I'm like, no, you know, that's fine. I'm going to take you home, and then we'll hang out together this morning to make sure that, you know, you're feeling okay, and that tomorrow he can go. And he only goes 3 days a week, so it's not even like an everyday thing. But it means that today that reading time, which is usually like very sacred to me, where I make my tea and I'm very, you know, I have the time that is really just like a deep breath and a calmness, and that time where I could just dip in and out of different books and really love them and enjoy them. You know, that time doesn't exist today. And, you know, and I'm learning that I can either, it is coming up very orange on camera on the screen. It's not as orange, I promise, y'all. It's a beautiful color. It's fall, y'all. I'm learning, and this has taken some time, that like I can stamp my feet and grumble and complain and throw a little bit of an adult temper tantrum, or I can say, you know what, like this happens, and I'm gonna take it in stride, and I'm gonna move on. So, and this isn't like life goes to plan. I'm just like, I'm having a difficult time with my TBR because there's so much I want to read, and I don't know. So I'm kind of wondering, my thought is to scale back on the TBR, to scale back and to really only choose like 4 books in the month or 6 books in the month, because I can read 6 books without too much of an issue. You know, depending on, I can read like 6 350-page books without too much of an issue, I think. Or maybe that's even too much. Maybe I could read 4 350-page books in a month. I'm not really sure. And so I'm kind of thinking that I need to scale back, and I need to reset my relationship with the TBR and the books that I choose. And and maybe kind of go small, and then I'll have more wiggle room to choose what I want to choose as the month progresses. Because as of right now, I don't even want to read any of the books that are on my pile of possibilities, because I'm a mood reader and I'm blaming them for making me feel I'm blaming the books for making me feel tied to a pile of possibilities list. So I am talking about it because I know I'm probably not the only one in this world that has these feelings. I also know that these are feelings and they're not facts. The fact is that if I sit down with any of these books and I start reading them, I'm going to start enjoying them. That's the truth. It's all a mental game for me. But I tend to avoid. So then when I don't want to read it, I'll start sidestepping. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a really good spot to start a new book, but yet I haven't, because I have these books to choose from, and I can see myself doing that little dance where I don't want to pick up the book, and what I actually want to do is maybe read a sci-fi book because I'm rebelling against my own TBR. Yeah, it's very strange. I have a complicated relationship with myself and my TBR. Anyways, I just wanted to say that, just kick off this vlog while I'm getting ready, that I'm struggling. Not like struggling, like, oh, the end of the world, but like I'm struggling with the idea of a TBR. So for my Nonfiction November TBR, I picked 2 nonfiction books that I for sure want to read, that are really high on my list, that I want to start basically the moment Nonfiction November starts. Then I have 2 nonfiction books that I wanted to talk about to fulfill the prompts and that sound really good. And then of course all the comments flood in, and they're like, oh, I can't wait till you get to that book. And then I'm like, I want to so bad. So there's that. And then I have 1, 2, see, now I'm piling them on. Then I have 2 possible books for New Worlds November, and 1 book that is a buddy read that I still need to get with my buddy reader about the book. So, TBRs, do you have them? Whether you have a channel or not, do you have them? How do you feel about them? Do you have a relationship, this sort of like mixed relationship as I do with my TBR? Tell me. And by the way, this is not just a Booktube thing. This has been I've always done this. Where I'm like, I really want to get to these 4 books next. And then the time wanes on and I'm like, why did I say I wanted to get to those 4 books? You're dead to me. Like, what are you doing? What have you even doing looking at me? That's how I feel. And then, I cycle back around and those books, get back high on my list once I get over myself and the relationship that I have with them. So yeah, tell me. And then I know that there are people that are just not mood readers at all, which I'm so jealous of you. AJ Dunn, I'm looking at you, because you just set your TBR, AJ, and go with it. Okay, I've rambled on long enough. So, TBRs, yay, nay, mixed relationship. Tell me. I want to know. I'm curious. All right, see you in a bit. To the outfit of the day. Today I have this cropped button-down shirt that I bought from Target this summer. The earrings that I always wear because I'm enamored with them. I have these Kate Spade, they're really fun pants. They're just, I didn't buy them secondhand, but I bought them on like mega sale because I don't know. It pains me to spend money, and yet I kind of like fancy things, so it's a problem. And then I have sandals, and really all the fun go to the pants, so enjoy. arrived. Thank heavens for nap time. I am going to read, hopefully, the Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. This is on my 1001 Children's Books You Must Read Before You Grow Up. I am going to continue on and hopefully finish by the end of the month Christina Rossetti's selected poems. Been taking this slowly and meditatively. Her poems are gorgeous. I love them so much. And yeah, I'd love to read a biography on her because I find her so interesting. I might read a tiny bit of Edward Lear, which there was this whole section of like 50, 60 pages where it started, there was all these small poems right here. And it's called, you know, there was a young lady of Welling whose praise all the world was telling. So they all started, there wasn't, you know, it had the same rhyme scheme, the same format, and those got monotonous, and I read it in like one sitting, and then it like burned me out, and I was like, Edward Lear, stay away, like get your poetry away from me. So I think I'm finally warming up to his poetry again, but yeah, I don't know, have mixed feelings about this. And then if I have any time left, I have a phone call at 1 o'clock, an appointment, and then I'm gonna read A Closed and Common Orbit by the second book in the Becky Chambers series, which I started and I'm reading mostly at night. But yeah, I have a little bit of time. I have about an hour, so I'm going to dive into all of this. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next hour. I'm going to wrap up here. We're going to have dinner soon. My husband is picking up Chinese food. We're going to have some chicken and some fried rice, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm just so glad that I don't have to cook because it's been a day. I will say that I did read and I was productive, but I didn't read through as much as I thought I was going to read, which definitely happens with me. I read the vast majority of the Canterville Ghost, and I'll finish up the last few pages tonight when I get to read. And then I've been listening to Black Beauty, which has just been really insightful and enjoyable in its own way. If I were to have written what I thought the book was about, I would have thought that it was about a young writer and her transformation through the relationship with her horse. So far with the first half of the book, that is not what it is about. I mentioned previously that it is really about the treatment of horses. One sec. So it is about the treatment of horses, and really the absolute cruelty that people treat horses with, and the difference an owner can make. So one of the owners of Black Beauty is incredibly humane and really wonderful, and treats his horses with just gentle, loving care, as if they were another person. But this owner of Black Beauty has the most quotable lines because he is constantly talking about how horses need to be loved and cared for, and he can tell when a horse has been treated horrifically because of the way the horse acts around other people, and he's a huge advocate for the way that horses are treated throughout the book so far. So I'm really enjoying it, but again, the expectation versus reality, this is just so beyond what I thought the book was going to be in the best way possible, because I'm definitely learning and growing from it. But yeah, that's all for me today. And yeah, I will see you all soon. Hopefully tomorrow for Poetry Thursday. I really need to read some Rossetti. I have no idea what I'm going to read. Okay, bye.